Sometimes I sit here, and I still can't believe it happened. I mean, how do you even process something like this? My best friend, the person I shared everything with, completely obliterated my life, all because of a boy. Was I naive? Absolutely. Did I ever see it coming? Never in a million years. But looking back, there were signs, subtle whispers that I, in my blind trust, completely ignored. Tell me, if your best friend betrayed you in the most spectacular, soul-crushing way imaginable, would you ever be able to forgive them? Because I'm still grappling with that question, every single day. It all started back in high school. Emily and I were inseparable. We met in kindergarten, clumsy little 5-year-olds with scraped knees and an insatiable appetite for finger paint. Our bond was forged in countless sleepovers, shared secrets whispered late into the night, and a mutual obsession with cheesy romantic comedies. We were the kind of best friends who finished each other's sentences, knew each other's Starbucks orders by heart, and had an unspoken language of eye rolls and knowing glances. Everyone knew us as Emily and Sarah. A package deal. Our parents were close, our siblings were friends. It was a whole interwoven tapestry of two families practically becoming one. She was my ride or die, my confidant, my other half. Life felt pretty simple then, in the way that only high school life can. Our biggest worries were acing a math test or deciding what to wear to the next football game. Emily was always the more outgoing one, the social butterfly. She was effortlessly popular, always surrounded by a crowd, her laugh echoing through the hallways. I was a bit more reserved, content to be in her orbit, happily playing the role of her loyal sidekick. I loved her energy, her vibrant personality, and honestly, I admired her. I never felt overshadowed, or at least I didn't think I did. I truly believed we were a team, a united front against the awkwardness of adolescence. Then came David. He transferred to our school in junior year, a whirlwind of charm, a devastatingly handsome smile, and eyes that held a playful glint. He was new, mysterious, and instantly the talk of the school. Every girl, myself included, had a crush on him, but I never really acted on it. I was too shy, too self-conscious to approach someone so effortlessly cool. Emily, on the other hand, made it her mission to befriend him. And because we were always together, I naturally became part of that new circle. David was smart, funny, and surprisingly down-to-earth despite all the attention he received. We quickly became a trio, the three of us hanging out after school, studying together, and just generally enjoying each other's company. I started to develop a real, genuine crush on David. It wasn't just the superficial admiration. I actually liked him. I liked his witty banter, the way he'd listen intently when I talked about my obscure hobbies, his genuine kindness. I confided in Emily about my feelings, as best friends do. I told her everything, every flutter in my stomach, every shy glance we exchanged, every hopeful dream I had. She listened, she nodded, she offered advice. "Just tell him, Sarah," she'd say. "You guys would be so cute together." She was my biggest cheerleader, or so I led myself to believe. I trusted her implicitly. I told her I was nervous, that I didn't want to mess up our friendship if he didn't feel the same. She reassured me, promised she'd support me no matter what. One Friday night, we were all at a mutual friend's party. The music was loud, the atmosphere buzzy. David and I found ourselves talking for hours, laughing, sharing stories. There was a definite spark, a tangible connection that I felt deep in my bones. He walked me home that night. The air was crisp, the streetlights casting long shadows. When we reached my doorstep, he turned to me, his hand gently touching my arm. "Sarah," he said, his voice soft, "I really like you." My heart soared. It was everything I had dreamed of. We had our first kiss right there, under the gentle glow of my porch light. It was sweet, innocent, and filled with promise. I floated inside on cloud 9, and immediately texted Emily, practically bursting with the news. She responded with exclamation points and emojis. "OMG! I knew it. So happy for you too." David and I started dating officially a few days later. It was everything I could have wished for. He was attentive, sweet, and made me feel special. We were the classic high school couple, going to football games, school dances, studying together, and just enjoying each other's company. Emily was still very much a part of our lives, of course. We'd often hang out, all three of us. It never felt awkward, not at first. She seemed genuinely happy for me, always making little comments like, "You two are just meant to be," or "Look at how cute they are." I appreciated her support, her friendship. It made me feel like I had it all. A wonderful boyfriend and an amazing best friend. What more could a girl ask for? As the months passed, a subtle shift began to occur, so gradual that I barely noticed it at first. Emily started spending more time alone with David. They'd claim it was for a group project, or that they were just bumping into each other at the library. I didn't think anything of it. They were friends, right? And I trusted both of them. There were little things, though, that pricked at the edges of my contentment. Emily would sometimes make comments about David's preferences, things he liked, things he disliked, that I hadn't even picked up on. She'd bring up inside jokes they shared that I wasn't privy to. David, too, started to change a little. He became slightly more distant, less openly affectionate with me, especially when Emily was around. He'd spend more time on his phone, sometimes laughing at texts, and when I'd ask who it was, he'd just vaguely say, "Oh, just a friend." My gut, that little voice inside that tries to protect you, started to whisper. But I silenced it. I told myself I was being paranoid, that it was just my insecurity creeping in. Emily was my best friend. She would never betray me. David was my boyfriend. He loved me. I was just being silly. Still, the feeling persisted, a tiny gnawing worry. One evening, I was at Emily's house for our usual movie night. She was in the kitchen getting snacks, and her phone was on the coffee table. A notification popped up, a text from David. It was just a quick glance, but I saw enough. "Can't wait to see you tomorrow, smiley face." My blood ran cold. Tomorrow was a Saturday. David and I had plans. We always had plans on Saturdays. I tried to push it out of my mind, to rationalize it. Maybe they were meeting to surprise me with something? But the pit in my stomach grew deeper. I started paying more attention. I noticed the way Emily would subtly touch David's arm when she laughed at his jokes. The way their eyes would linger a little too long on each other. The way they'd exchange secret smiles. It was like watching a slow-motion car crash, powerless to stop it, yet desperate to look away. I started to feel sick, a constant knot of anxiety in my chest. I felt like I was living in a nightmare, desperately clinging to the illusion of my perfect life while it crumbled around me. So, that's the situation I was in. My best friend, my soul sister, and my boyfriend, the person I thought I was falling in love with, were clearly hiding something. I was drowning in suspicion and fear, my heart slowly shattering into a million pieces. And I had to make a choice. Before I tell you what happened next, what I did to uncover the truth, and the devastating fallout, I want you to pause right now and comment below. What would you have done in my shoes? Would you have confronted them immediately? Would you have tried to gather more evidence? Or would you have pretended not to notice, hoping it would all just go away? Tell me honestly, what would your first move have been? I decided I couldn't live with the not knowing. The anxiety was consuming me. I had to find out for sure, no matter how much it hurt. I became a detective in my own life, meticulously observing, piecing together fragments of conversations, checking social media, all while pretending everything was perfectly fine. It was agonizing. One Tuesday, David told me he had a family dinner he couldn't get out of. Emily told me she was going to visit her aunt out of town. The excuses felt flimsy, almost too convenient. I knew something was up. I decided to follow David. It felt creepy, invasive, but I was desperate. I drove my mom's car, heart pounding, tailing his car from a safe distance. He didn't go home. He drove to a quiet park on the other side of town, a place we used to go for picnics. And there, waiting for him, was Emily. My breath hitched. My hands gripped the steering wheel so hard my knuckles were white. I watched as they met, not with a casual wave, but with a hug. A long hug. Then he leaned in and kissed her. It wasn't a quick peck, it was a full, undeniable kiss. My world imploded. The sound of my own gasp was swallowed by the ringing in my ears. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. I just sat there, watching them, feeling a pain so profound it was physical. My best friend. My boyfriend. Betrayal of the highest order. It was like a scene from a movie, only it was real, and it was my life. I don't know how long I sat there, tears streaming down my face, blurring my vision. When they finally walked away, hand in hand disappearing into the trees, I drove home in a daze. My mind was a whirlwind of anger, hurt, confusion. How could they? How could Emily, my sister, do this to me? How could David, the person I loved, lie to my face? I felt utterly foolish, completely used. The next day, I confronted Emily. I called her, my voice shaking, and asked her to meet me at our favorite coffee shop. She came smiling, oblivious, asking me how my day was. I looked her dead in the eye, my voice barely a whisper, and said, "Emily, I saw you and David yesterday. At the park." Her face went pale. The smile vanished, replaced by a mixture of shock and guilt. She stammered, tried to deny it. "Sarah, what are you talking about?" But I cut her off. "Don't lie to me. I saw you kiss him. I saw you holding his hand. How long, Emily? How long have you been doing this?" She finally broke down, tears streaming. She confessed everything. It had started subtly, she said. Just flirting, then hanging out, then it escalated. She claimed she didn't mean to hurt me, that she fell for him. She said she tried to stop, but couldn't. It was a pathetic excuse, and it sickened me. My best friend, my confidant, had systematically deceived me for months, all while pretending to be my biggest supporter. She even admitted that she had encouraged me to tell David how I felt, knowing full well she had feelings for him too. It was a calculated move to get closer to him through me. She had been jealous, she confessed, jealous of my relationship, jealous of the attention I was getting. The confrontation with David was equally devastating, but less surprising. He was defensive, tried to minimize it, claimed it was just a mistake. He said he didn't know how to tell me, that he was caught between two people. I didn't want to hear it. I ended things with him on the spot. There was no going back. The trust was shattered beyond repair. The aftermath was brutal. Our friend group was torn apart. Some sided with me, appalled by Emily's betrayal. Others, swayed by her manipulative tears and David's charm, thought I was overreacting. Emily tried to play the victim, claiming I was being overdramatic, that these things happen. But the truth was out. The lies, the deceit, the utter disregard for my feelings, it was all laid bare. I lost my best friend, the person who knew me better than anyone. I lost my first love, the boy who had made me believe in fairy tales. And in a way, I lost a part of myself, the naive, trusting girl who believed in the unwavering loyalty of friendship. It took me a long time to heal, to trust again, to believe that not everyone I let into my life would eventually stab me in the back. Emily and I never spoke again, not properly. We passed each other in the hallways, ghosts of our former selves, the weight of her betrayal hanging heavy in the air. David and Emily eventually dated for a few months, a fleeting romance built on the ruins of my heartbreak, before they too inevitably fell apart. Karma, I guess, eventually comes calling. Looking back, the entire experience was a painful lesson in human nature, in jealousy, and in the fragility of trust. It taught me to be more discerning, to listen to my gut, and to protect my heart. It also taught me that true friendship should never come at the cost of your own happiness or dignity. It's a wound that still aches sometimes, a reminder of a time when my world was turned upside down by the very people I loved and trusted most. But I survived it. I rebuilt my life, made new friends, and eventually found someone who truly cherishes me. And I learned that sometimes, the greatest betrayals lead to the greatest strengths. So, that's my story. A painful, messy chapter in my life that I hope no one else ever has to experience. If you've ever been through something similar, or if this story resonated with you, please like this video. It helps me know that I'm not alone in feeling this way. Subscribe to the channel for more stories like this, and definitely share your final thoughts on this whole mess in the comments section below. I want to hear what you think. I'll see you all in the next story.